So, on one of the Facebook groups I'm part of, somebody asked about getting a slug gun for deer season. And that brought up a lot of conversations about different shotguns. I have a variety of shotguns. My first shotgun was a New England Firearms 12 gauge single shot. Seemed like when I was a kid, everybody ended up with one of those shotguns. 20 was pretty popular. 410 was pretty popular. I decided I need the 12 gauge because when you're a young man, you think the biggest is the best. I shot Boy Scout merit badge with that shotgun right here. You had to get 26 out of 50 skeets. I shot 26 out of 42 and decided, you know what? I was done shooting that shotgun for the day. My father wasn't a big gun guy, and that's what he bought because it was very inexpensive at the time. It was 88 beans, I think, at Walmart. So some of the other shotguns I have, got the bolt action style. Mossberg made a bunch of these. Stevens. I think this one's a store brand. I think it's a it's a Western Field 16 gauge. The benefits of those is at one time you could find those very inexpensively. It doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I see them approaching like 1.5 to 1.25 beans. They come both mag fed and tube fed varieties. There's probably some single shot varieties. The mags for these are hard to find, and sometimes when you find them, they almost sell for as much as the shotgun. This one does have a mag. It's got a 2-round. It's a 16 gauge. It's the only 16 gauge I have. I find 16 gauge shells whenever I buy lots of ammo. There's always a few in there. That's why I keep it around. It did have the pipe cutter treatment done to the end of the barrel. It had a select choke on there. But yeah, I don't use it for much. The tape is to actually cover up. It was repaired at one time. You can see the wood filler, and it was pinned and glued and screwed and everything else, and that's how that ended up. This is my original one that I got when I was a kid. Nothing's been done to it other than it's been used. Other options out there. There's another New England Firearms. This one's 20 gauge, single shot. It's got a legal length barrel. I believe it's 19.5, and it had the pipe cutter treatment done to the end of that as well. Maybe we'll throw those all in a pile. 20 gauge is nice because they're all built on the same frame. The New England Firearms, the breech faces. The barrel. Part of the barrel that contains the breech is a 12 gauge diameter, so it's extra thick. So the 20 gauge actually weighs more than 12. Somebody called the Topper Project. That's a good channel to watch if you want to know about these. See, this is the 410. You can see how thick that is. I don't use 410 very often. It's just another one of those ones I have because I have it. So we've got the bolt action style. We got the single shot break action. We've got, this one's a New England Firearms 12. It has a 21-inch barrel. When you put the choke, it's longer than 21. I couldn't tell you off the top of the head how long it is. I know it's legal. I measured it. Choke does tell you right on the pistol grip that you need a 22-inch or longer barrel. And I made sure when that one got shortened that it was legal length. Stevens puts their name on a 301. It's made in China. It's kind of a copy of the New England Firearms. Break action single shot. It does add a safety. It can only be set when the hammer's back. Most people just ignore that safety. It's not. The use for it is very limited. Problem with these now is they're up around 2.5 beans. The New England Firearm single shots were under 1 bean at one time, and they've slowly increased. You can occasionally find them used. Well, you actually have to find them used because they don't make them anymore. They were quite the shotgun. Everybody I knew owned one at one time. Disadvantage of these is it takes a screw to remove the barrel, whereas the 301 has a plunger type takedown. It's funny, when we did that shotgun shooting merit badge I was talking about, the instructor asked us all to take our guns apart, and we all said, well, we need a screwdriver to take our guns apart. And he had never seen a shotgun with a screw holding the fore end on, and he acted like we were all ridiculous, which to claim to have the knowledge he did and not know that those existed, or tell us that they didn't exist when they were probably 90% of the kids there had them, was kind of interesting. So we have the Mossberg 500, which is pretty common. Yeah, I'm doing it one-handed. So Mossberg 500 is pretty common. The benefit is the barrels are easy to swap. The side, or the negative of that now, is the barrels are almost as much as a shotgun. You can find used barrels if you dig around the gun stores, but to actually order them now, they're what the shotguns used to cost. This one's got, vent rib barrel, the select choke. Those are pretty common. Mossberg like to put them on a lot of things. They're not my favorite thing. This will probably end up getting a shorter barrel, or the barrel will get chopped on it. Safety's here on them, which is convenient for lefty-righty people. Yeah, so this here is a Westernfield, which is actually made by, yeah, let's try this. Oh, that's a good way of doing it. Which is made by Mossberg and sold through like Sears, JCPenney, hardware stores, Western Auto. Somebody would probably get on and tell you exactly who had the Westernfield name. It's, I mean, you can see it's pretty much the same as that Mossberg 500. The barrels interchange, the stocks interchange, other things interchange. Oh, we didn't talk about chambers. So most of these are 2 3/4 inch chamber. Yep, the Mossberg 500 is a 2 3/4 inch. I think the Westernfield is only a 2 3/4 inch. It's an older one. So if you're gonna buy a Westernfield or an older Mossberg, that's something to keep in mind. 3-inch chamber is probably what you want to look for. The other drawback to this particular one is it has a single action bar. See, one action bar. Mossberg's got 1, 2. Westernfield has 1. If it breaks, I have another Westernfield, and it broke because instead of being on a tube, the Maverick 88s and some of the cheaper Westernfields, it's just pinned to the fore end. This one has an actual action bar, so that's not a big deal. Yeah. It's inexpensive. The safety's the same design. It's a different style button, but I don't think that's probably just an age thing. Okay, so we've been over that. Okay. Next, we have a Remington 870 Wingmaster. Yeah, I don't know what's special. There ain't much special. Isn't a whole lot of difference with them. This one's been modified. This one's gonna wait, probably, it's gonna have a Form 1 filed on it. I'd like to cut the barrel really short on it just because I can. It's not like I don't have other shotguns to do better do other things with. 870's got, you swap the barrel on an 870 similar to you can on a Mossberg. The benefit of the 870 is you can put a mag extension on it because it's hollow there. If you buy a Mossberg 590 or like the Mossberg 500 Shockwaves, have this style tube on it so you can put an extension on there. When this project's done, it's not going to matter anyway because the plan is to shorten the tube and shorten the barrel. Let's see what else we got here. This will probably get a Form 1 and be shortened as well, because I think it's neat. So the gentleman that was asking about the slug gun got a lot of like, get a Mossberg 500, get a Remington 870. Somebody said, well, you could get the cheap single shots. The cheap single shots aren't cheap anymore. A lot of them don't come with rifle barrels. You can find, New England Firearms made a Slugger, and I'm probably saying that wrong, but that had a rifle barrel. Some of them were built on the SB2 frame, which is a whole nother topic, but SB1's what's going to be affordable, more affordable. So my suggestion to that gentleman was to go with the Benelli Nova. This one's actually a Supernova. It has a 3.5-inch chamber. It has iron sights already on it. This is like their law enforcement one. If you get a regular Nova, the buttstock is not removable. The Supernova has a removable buttstock. It comes with shims, so you can adjust the stock how you want it. You can get, hold on. Yeah, that's how we did it last time, right? You can get a mag extension for these as well. You know, yes, I have some rust on there. I gotta take care of that. You can swap the barrels on the Benellis, but the barrels for the Benellis are ridiculous money. I wouldn't just get the Benelli you want, keep the barrel on it. This one does not have a rifled barrel. They are available with a rifled barrel. Looking around the places where you get them online, there was some that were available. They run about 5 beans. The only rifled barrel shotgun I ever had was I had a Mossberg 500 with a spare rifled barrel. I sold it. I didn't think it was worth it. I got the Benelli shortly after that with the open sights on it. Foster slugs. I mean, I'm shooting 100 yards. I'm getting about, I can hit an 8-inch gong at 100 yards, no problem. So, I don't know if any of that's useful to anybody. Oh, the Benelli has a crossbolt safety. That's the mag release on it. It does have a mag cutoff button. Press that in, and it allows you to stop the mag from. So if you want to throw like a slug in, or you want to throw like birdshot in, if you want to throw a shell in different than what you have loaded in the mag tube, that's what you'd use. So there are a lot of options out there. Hold on one second. One shotgun type we didn't discuss, and that's the semi-automatic. This one's a Tokarev, however you want to say it. semi-auto, 12 gauge, made in Turkey. Seems to be where all the shotguns are made now. You might be surprised, some of the shotguns you think are heritage American brands, not heritage like the manufacturing company, but like legacy American shotgun brands, you'll find are actually made in Turkey. Pretty disappointing. There was a guy who was very proud of a shotgun he had purchased. I can't say I remember the name. I want to say Weatherby, or it was CZ, or it was something like that, which CZ is not American anyway. But Hatfield, which is the Walmart brand semi-auto 12 gauge shotgun, which is a pretty poor design, pretty cheap copy, but I guess they're inexpensive. The parts for his high-end shotgun and that cheap Turkish-made shotgun were the same, and then we found on the receiver it actually said it was made in Turkey. I believe all your Winchester shotguns, modern Winchester shotguns, are made in Turkey. So if you can spring for it, used American-made, Italian, or Chinese. Some Chinese ones are pretty decent, but this has been all right. I gave next to nothing for it. I don't think they were very expensive when they were new. It's been reliable with everything I put in it. I keep it in my garage. So that's a shotgun overview. Have a good day.